Hey, Para.
Hello and welcome to Sacred Pause with your host, myself, Kelsey Keil. This is the podcast for anyone looking for a break, a quiet moment to just be, without any other obligations other than to get grounded, get in your heart, get out of your head, and to be still in whatever it is you're struggling with and desperately wanting to heal. Oftentimes, all we need in order to feel at peace is a sacred pause. Are you feeling tired, run down, or overworked? Please take some time for yourself and listen to this short episode where I explain the importance of taking a pause, a sacred pause from your everyday life. Just taking one night all to yourself can change your whole life if you let it. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is loving the new year so far. I definitely have been, but I've also been struggling a bit as well. I actually moved to Salt Lake City, Utah with my partner Paige and all of our babies, of course. I'm in Holiday, Utah specifically, which I think is the cutest name for a town ever. We got here about a week before Christmas, so we've been here for about a month and a few weeks now. And boy, am I loving it. But also, whoa, so many new things, exciting things going on. So much I want to do, so much I want to get done, so many people I want to hang out with, which is of course also amazing. But after the big move in this holiday season, I finally am remembering what has been missing from me since I got here, which is a break, a pause, and what I like to call a sacred pause, which to me is a moment to reflect on what the hell just happened, to breathe deep, to breathe slow, and to be still and present in everything it is I'm feeling. And it's been different for me lately. Different feelings, different emotions, different stressors, because I've never moved out of state before. I've never bought a house before, never owned a house before, and lots of responsibility comes with owning a house. And it's so easy to get caught up in the daily tasks and daily to-dos and wanting my house, my space to be perfect as fast as possible. It's all so fun and all so exciting. But again, what I was missing and now finally remembering is an absolute must for me, and maybe for you as well, is again a sacred pause. A sacred pause can be eating lunch alone in complete silence with no phone, just you and your food, no distractions at all. It could be going on a long walk, a long hike, listening to your favorite podcast or favorite artist. It could be anything you want. If you're anything like me, you're always unconsciously, always on the go, always doing, always moving. I have to actively, all the time, remind myself to slow down my mind, slow down my heart, slow down my body, and give myself time to rest, to process. And that's on a good day when I'm very aware. Sometimes it's really hard to do this, and most of the time that is when I need it the absolute most. This is really hard for me to do when I'm also doing whatever is on my schedule for that day. So that's why I need to also schedule in days where there's just absolutely nothing on my schedule, where I can truly pause from my reality. So that's what I finally did a few nights ago, and something so amazing happened. For our break or sacred pause, Paige and I decided to have a much needed journey night, a night completely dedicated to ourselves. And for us, the best way to do this is by having a plant medicine ceremony or a journey. And if you've never experienced this, it feels like you're doing absolutely nothing and doing everything all at the same time. It's so amazing. True balance, true connection. It feels like everything is falling perfectly into place while I'm doing nothing at all. But truly resting, truly relaxing, and really leaning in to peace and connection and unity with myself, with whoever I'm with, and with people I've never met before, and with the world, the planet as a whole. Physically, mentally, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, all those ways, all equally balanced. When you're able to do that, you feel protected, you feel taken care of, you feel whole because you are, and you always have been, and you always will be. It's possible that the only thing that's missing in your life that's not allowing you to feel this way is a sacred pause. A break for you, nobody else. I like to think of this time as I'm opening up the floodgates and allowing everything that I've been blocking to easily flow through, easily flow in and out rather than blocking, which is what I believe is what most of us do majority of our lives. This is just another reason why sacred pauses are so vital for a well-balanced life and to get wherever it is you want to go. So, back to my story. Paige and I were journeying, and per usual, so many amazing realizations and downloads happened for me and for Paige. But what really stood out to me this night is a clear answer to a question that I've been really searching for a while now, probably over a year. And since the move, it's been extremely heightened. The question I've been grappling with is, what's my next passion, my next career or job? I had a dog walking business back in LA, and I sold it before moving to Utah. So while it felt amazing and liberating to sell a business I put all of me into for over 2 years, I also felt a tad bit lost and confused simply because I had zero idea what I wanted to do next, other than my podcast. But I knew I wanted to do more. And all I knew is that I wanted to do something that helps people feel better and helps people be more themselves. But just a few nights ago, all my worries, all my confusions dissipated when it all just hit me. I had a download after download after download in great detail with exactly what's next for me. It just came to me. You're going to help get rid of people's biggest insecurities, all in one night. And I saw an ad in my mind, a big ad, 1 night with me, say goodbye to your biggest insecurity. And then after that, all the tools to help me support me in this came to me. Breath work, aromatherapy, meditations, music, cacao, and 1 or 2 different types of plant medicines as well. And it didn't stop there. Then I practiced on Paige right then and there, and we literally got rid of her biggest insecurity, as she said, literally within 2 minutes. And another minute later, self-love coach. That just hit me. And that's what I'll call myself. That'll be my title, So when I'm at a dinner party or some shit and someone asks me the $1 million question, so Kelsey, what do you do for work? At least now I'll have an answer. So my point is, I was running myself very thin in every way. And when I finally listened to myself, listen to my body, and quite frankly, listen to Paige, because she kept telling me I needed to take a break and that we should have a journey night. When I finally listened, my biggest question, my biggest worry at the time was answered for me. All answered with ease, with love, with support, when I simply took a break from my everyday life, took a break from my everyday tasks and from reality. Now, again, your version of a sacred pause can be whatever you want it to be. Whatever will get you out of your mind and into your heart. It can be eating a meal with 0 distractions. It could be swimming. It can be going on a hike or a walk and listening to this podcast or any podcast. I believe all we need is a good pause to let it all go so we can create more and do more and live more fully, all while being balanced and being loving and being kind. So take that time for you, for others, and for the whole planet. It's all connected and it's all priceless. If you know me at all, you know animals are everything to me. I have 4, soon to be 5 rescue animals of my own, and I believe Source, God, spirit guides, whatever it is you want to call it, put animals on this earth with us to help raise the vibration of humanity. And it's our responsibility to tap into that tool that animals can provide to us. And I believe children are the same. I have had so many experiences that have taught me this, and I'll share with you my favorite one. So I've always loved kids. I have probably about 100 nieces and nephews total from both my mom and dad's side. And while I've always loved kids, I never knew if I wanted to actually give birth to my own. I always more thought of possibly adopting, especially recently. But then my friend Haley adopted a snake, a ball python, and her name is Shakti. And I had been dying to go over and hold her. But of course, I just was doing a million other things, wasn't prioritizing it, even though I really, really wanted to. And when I finally just did it, went over there and held Shakti for the first time, what happened was life-changing. I was probably holding Shakti for 30 minutes. Not positive about that because I was literally in a trance. I was feeling a type of love and connection I had never felt before. I felt more connected to this snake, to Shakti, than I've ever felt even with my own animals. And I promise you that says a lot. And immediately when I was done holding her, I looked at Paige and a few other friends who were there, and I said, this is crazy and I'm even scared to share this, but I am now 100% sure I want to give birth. And then we all spent the rest of the night, hours and hours, watching at-home water births because that's how I want to give birth as well. I was also very clear on how I wanted to give birth. How crazy is that? All that knowledge, all that clarity, all from, first of all, taking a break, taking a sacred pause from life to do whatever I felt called to do, and in this case was to hold my baby Shakti. Not only are humans so powerful, but animals are just as powerful. We just need to be quiet enough to listen. I saw a meme around New Year's Eve or something that had an anime character punching 2021. And while I get the point of that, I guess, I think a better approach would be to hug 2021. Love it, accept it. I think if we do that, more love, more ease, more partnership will come our way. I don't want to beat the shit out of anything. I mean, other than a punching bag, because that's what it's literally made for. So why in the world would I do that to a new year that I'm just happy to be a part of? So I invite you to work with this new, fresh year. Don't push it away. Listen to it. Work with it. Because that's how you listen to yourself and work with yourself. Take breaks when you need them, and then go all out when you need that. There's a place for all of it. So next time you feel yourself needing a break, please listen and take it. Schedule it. Do what you have to do to get it done. Because I promise you, taking this pause will catapult you hundreds of steps ahead. A lot of times my reasoning for not taking the break I need is because I think it will put me behind schedule. And that's simply just not the case at all. We need to pause. We need time to tap into our internal well. We need to pause to tap into our relationships with our inner selves, with our souls, with our hearts. We need to pause to tap into our sacred selves, our higher selves, so we can listen to our inner guide. Taking a sacred pause is the only way to do this. It cannot happen when we are doing a million other things. Remember, anything at all can be a sacred pause if you let it. What's going on right now in the world with COVID is a sacred pause. A meditation is a sacred pause. Doing the dishes while focusing on your breathing, allowing you to be calm and at peace, can be a sacred pause. But if you ever need some help or want some company, just join me on this podcast. I'll be here for you with new episodes every week. Every Friday, there'll be a new, fresh episode waiting for you to help you in any way you need. And if you can't wait until then, follow me or hit me up on Instagram at Kelsey W. Keil. KelseyWkeil. Every day I post content that will help you get where you want to be. More in your heart, more in your soul, and less in your head. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you next week.